Salut mon pote, comment ça va? The weather is very nice today, you can see it. The sun is shining, my face is all white, and we are going to study how to use ne, que, which is a specific grammar way to make sentences, to express what we usually call la restriction, so the restriction, okay? It's an easy topic, I think, so the video shouldn't be too long. But as always, if you want to take the most out of this video, I would recommend you to put it in full screen. Take your paper and pen or a notebook and a pencil, something like this, to do the practice exercises that we are going to do. Not much to review today, except some examples, so I can show you how to use ne, que properly. So, let's look at this first sentence right here. Nous allons au restaurant seulement une fois par mois. It's something like we go to the restaurant only once a month. So with this seulement right here, which is something like only, seulement une fois par mois, only once a month, you already have this idea of restriction, of restriction. This is what we mean by restriction. It's like we don't go often, we only go once a month. Other example. J'ai entendu un bruit bizarre, mais c'était juste mon chat. It's something like I heard a strange noise, but it was just my cat. It was only my cat. Once again, now using the word juste, once again we have this idea of restriction. When you say like, oh, it was only my cat. Oh, yeah, that's fine. It was just my cat. It's like it could have been many things, but it was just my cat, and that's it. It was only this, nothing else, So we still have the same idea of restricting many options, and it's only one thing. Okay? Last example. Elle aime uniquement les films romantiques. She only loves romantic movies, like love movies. Okay? Once again, we have this idea of restriction, this time with the word uniquement. It's like she only loves, elle aime uniquement les films romantiques, like romance movies. Once again, it's something like she could love any kind of movie, okay, any kind of movie, but she only loves romantic movies, and that's it, okay? So, when we use this seulement right here, juste right here, uniquement right here, we always have this restriction idea that we can express using this grammar trick with ne, que. You know that when we use ne, we are creating a negative sentence, just like ne pas, ne rien, ne jamais, ne plus, etc. So ne que will also be a negative sentence. But you should really think about it in your mind, ne que, as like a fixed pattern, a fixed structure, okay? You don't care too much about this que right here, like, technically it's still a pronoun, but don't try to think about it as que the pronoun. Just think about it as ne que, they go together when we use this structure, okay? And we use this to convey the idea of restriction. So, this is the way to use it. Ne, then the verb, and the complement, if you have some complement, then que. So exactly just like ne pas, ne plus, ne jamais, etc. It's the same way to express it. Par exemple, we had elle aime uniquement les films romantiques. So here, the restriction is expressed by uniquement. It's like only romantic movies. So this uniquement, I can remove it, and instead I can use ne que to express the same idea. Okay? Putting ne et que at one side and the other of the verb which is here, aimer, to love. Okay? So, elle n'aime que les films romantiques. If you have to, you can, of course, pause the video here to let the grammar and sink in your mind and, really take a minute to appreciate this sentence. Elle n'aime que les films romantiques. It is exactly the same idea as elle aime uniquement les films romantiques. It's something like she only likes romance movies. Ok? Très bien. Autre exemple. Nous allons au restaurant seulement une fois par mois. In this example, we have a complement this time. Previous one, we didn't have a complement. This time, we have one. Nous allons où? Nous allons au restaurant. Alright? So, au restaurant is le complément de lieu of the verb aller. You know, you don't have to overthink it, you just have to consider, but I think it's kind of natural for you at this point that aller au restaurant here is like something that we put together, okay? Alright, so what will it look like? You can pause the video here and try to convert this sentence by yourself into a ne que sentence. Nous n'allons au restaurant qu'une fois par mois. Okay? So, this seulement is replaced by ne que, and ne que, we put it at one side and the other of le verbe aller, and the complément aller au restaurant. Ok? Donc, nous n'allons au restaurant qu'une fois par mois. We only go to the restaurant once a month. Or we go to the restaurant only once a month. Très bien. Last example. J'ai entendu un bruit bizarre, mais c'était juste mon chat. So this sentence right here, c'était juste mon chat. It was just my cat. It was only my cat. Can you try to convert it using ne que? It might be a bit tricky, because there's kind of a trap here. But no, I mean, it's pure logic, pure grammar. There's no exception. But something is a bit tricky. What's tricky is that c'était here is actually ce été. Alright? It's just that we don't say ce été. We remove e and we put the apostrophe so we can make some kind of liaison. Just like you don't say je ai, right? You say j'ai. But this j right here, technically it's still a je, you know? Okay, so here, c'était juste mon chat will become ce n'était que mon chat. This juste that was expressing the restriction disappears and is replaced by ne que that we put at one side and the other of the verb, which here is était. Ce n'était que mon chat. Ok? Très bien. And so we've seen these examples for simple tenses, like présent, imparfait, etc. How about when we have different verbs, like temps composé? Well, to make it simple, I want to give you one one rule of thumb. You just put ne que at one side and the other of all the verbs. If you have like many verbs, you just put all the verbs in the middle and ne que at one side and the other. Okay? Typical example, what if I'm using passé composé? Passé composé is a temps composé because we have two parts in it. We have l'auxiliaire, here is avoir, and we have the participe passé, here is manger. So you know when you use passé composé, you have two parts, right? Auxiliaire, participe passé. Like here, for example, j'ai mangé. Okay? J'ai mangé juste un carré. Un carré means a square, and in this context, it can mean like a square of chocolate, okay? Like, oh no, but I only ate one square, that's it, you know? J'ai mangé juste un carré. I ate just a square. So this is like one square of chocolate. Can you pause the video here and try to convert this sentence using ne que? Ça va? Well, this juste that is expressing the idea of restriction will disappear and is replaced by ne que that I will put on one side and the other of all the verbs, including participe passé, etc., etc. So I will have je n'ai mangé qu'un carré, right? Just like we did before with c'était, we have to separate, we have to dislocate now this je into je ai. Because j'ai, we put them together, but this is not the verb, this is the sujet, and this is the verb. So I actually have to put the ne in between the two of them, just like before when we said c'était became ce n'était. You get the logic, right? Like, et, manger, is the verb. I mean, it's like the group of verbs, okay? This je becomes back je. Je n'ai mangé qu'un carré. I ate only one square. Ça va? Très bien. Now, using le plus que parfait, vous aviez seulement vu votre frère. You had only saw your brother, something like this, like you saw only your brother. I am using un temps composé once again, because I am using plus que parfait. You can see here l'auxiliaire avoir et le participe passé. So, just like we did before, can you convert this sentence using ne, que? I think if you get the logic, it should start to be easy now. Vous n'aviez vu que votre frère. As always, seulement, which was expressing the restriction, disappears. I will replace it by ne que, and I put ne que at one side and the other of the two verbs. Ok? Très bien. Last example. This one is not so much a temps composé, but we still have two verbs. Elle peut vous recevoir uniquement le lundi. She can receive you only on Monday. For example, I'm calling the doctor and I'm talking with the secretary. The secretary says, okay, yeah, the doctor can only see you on Monday. Okay? Elle peut vous recevoir uniquement le lundi. We have two verbs. On a peut, which is pouvoir, and recevoir. It's not a past tense, it's normal présent. But you know that in the present tense, when I use like pouvoir, vouloir, devoir, we always have this structure of conjugating the first verb and not the second one. So, can you convert this sentence into a ne que sentence? Knowing that peut vous recevoir goes together, right? Because we put tous les verbes ensemble. Here we go. Elle ne peut vous recevoir que le lundi. She can only receive you on Monday. Okay? As always, if you want to, of course you can pause the video here, and you should pause the video here to let the grammar of the sentence sink in. Okay? And that's it. If that's okay for you, we can move to practice exercise number 1. This first practice exercise should be quite easy, I think. So I will ask you to pause the video right here, take your paper and pen, and you convert all of these sentences into ne que sentences, just like we did in the examples. C'est bon? On regarde. Aujourd'hui, je ne travaille qu'une heure. Today, I only work for 1 hour. Elle ne prend qu'une valise. She only takes one luggage. Il ne fait qu'un exercice. He only does one exercise. Il ne téléphone qu'à sa sœur, pas à son frère. He only calls his sister, not his brother. Il ne boit que de l'eau du robinet, pas d'eau minérale. He only drinks tap water, no mineral water. Ok? Très bien. Practice exercise number 2, same principle, you just have to do the same thing, but this time some sentences are a bit trickier. C'est bon? On regarde. Elles n'ont réservé qu'une place pour le concert. They have only booked one seat for the concert. Il n'a neigé qu'en décembre. It snowed only in December. Il ne restait des places que pour 18 heures. There were seats left only for 6 p.m. Something like this. Le groupe n'est composé que de 2 chanteurs. The band is made up of only 2 singers. Je n'ai mangé qu'une banane ce matin. I only ate one banana this morning. Simon ne va voir que des bons films au cinéma. Simon only goes to watch good movies in the theater. Ok? Très bien, that's it for this video. I take this opportunity to remind you that this exercise that I take, actually I take them from website most of the time. I don't write them myself. Because I admit I'm a bit lazy, so yeah, here's the source if you want. And I also take this opportunity to remind you that I have the full A1, A2 and B1 French courses available on my website. This is the first link in the description. So you can study French fast and by yourself in a structured way at home at the pace that you like. And you can also book calls and precise coaching with me if you want to go faster in your learning journey. Okay? That's it for today. Bisous mon pote.